What's up, guys? I'm the Nearsighted Gamer. Thanks for coming to see me. Lately, or should I say recently, I've got to experience something that I didn't think was possible for me, but it is. I got to try out PSVR. Now, I had the chance to purchase a PSVR like almost a year ago for this past Christmas, but I wasn't sure that it would work with, my eyesight limitations. So I passed on it and ended up getting something else instead. I won't go into that. But I was able to borrow one from a friend, and I've gotten to try it recently, and it works great. Like, I didn't have any problems. Everything works fine. I've tried the Gear VR before, and it worked okay, but I didn't know if things were different with this, and it was a pretty big investment to put in, not knowing if it would work. But I'm happy to say that it did work, and it was fantastic. And I just want to talk about my experience with a couple of games that I've been playing recently. One game that people have been talking about that is pretty much like, the go-to game if you want to show off a PSVR for someone who hasn't seen one or experienced one is Astrobot's Rescue Mission. Now, this is a full game of the whenever the PSVR came out, they had a demo or just a little short. It was a Playroom VR, which was the original Playroom for the PlayStation 4. And in this, they had Astrobot Robot Rescue, I think was the name of it. And it was a short little, mini game type thing, had a couple of levels, and it was great. It went over really good. I wasn't aware of this because I didn't have one, like I said. And so Japan Studios took that and expanded it into a full game, which is it's great. It's the best adaptation of VR that I've seen in my short couple of weeks that I've been playing it. But it got great reviews, it's getting like 9s and 10s. It's actually up for Best VR Game at the Game Awards, which says something. And it's really cool. I mean, you're controlling the one of the Astrobots, and you're going around trying to rescue your friends. And so they're hidden in places, all in these levels. And you're controlling him, but you're there, and you can see him and you can see around, and you move as he moves through these levels. It's a 3D platformer. So you're going around and you're collecting coins, and you're trying to find your hidden friends. And some of them are out in plain sight. Some of them are down in hidden areas or around corners. So you literally have to look down and look around in areas to get to places that you can't normally see, which is really cool. I wasn't expecting that. You even interact with certain things there'll be obstacles in your way that you have to headbutt to pass and go through, which is really cool. I only got to play the demo for that. I haven't got to play the full game yet, and I do want to. So that's one that I really want to see the whole thing for. I have it coming to me right now, so when I get it, maybe I'll make a video talking about the whole thing. But pretty much right now, I can definitely say that it's something you should get if you have a PSVR, and if you like, 3D platforms, of course. It's really cool. And the other game that I want to talk about is something that I was on the lookout for a while. There were two games that I was on the lookout for a while that I was happy was coming to PlayStation, even though I didn't have a PSVR. One was Beat Saber. I've yet to try that. It's on my list. The other is Tetris Effect. Now, Tetris Effect is, at its core, Tetris. Now, how can they make Tetris better? Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that they made it better, but they added something to it that had never been done. You play, and the stages that you play, they have different, music, soundtracks that go along with them. And as you place pieces, rotate your blocks, and get lines, you contribute to this as well. You contribute to the music by placing blocks and spinning, spinning your blocks. And those have different sound effects that add to the already existing music. And as far as the stage itself, there's different variations, different ones, different types, different themes. And whenever you hit lines, you cause things to happen in those stages as well. And there's also your when you're placing your lines as well, you're also contributing to the background. And they changed as you progress and get, a certain amount of lines, then the stage will change. It'll be, the same theme, but it'll be a different portion of it. Like, for example, there was one where I'll talk about my favorite stage. One of my favorite stages is called Balloon High. All right, you start out and you're playing Tetris, you have it there, and around you are hot air balloons. And it's dark, kind of like dusk, almost, about to become morning. And you can see, glimpses of the outlines on these balloons whenever whenever the music pulsates and all that. And also when you place blocks and stuff like that. But as you progress, when you get to like a certain amount of lines, then it also whenever you clear lines on this stage, like you'll hear the sound that it makes whenever you put heat, you turn on the flame to give heat to the hot air balloon for it to go up. You hear that sound whenever you clear a line. And then as you go and progress and get to like a certain amount of lines, it changes to daytime. And then you're able to see all of the hot air balloons around you, when before you can only see like glimpses when it would light up temporarily. Now you can see all the balloons around you, and you're in the air, floating around, and you see them, and they're still pulsating, with the music as well. Then as you go on, it gets further, then like you're going higher and higher. At first you're like kind of like, a little bit lower, maybe on eye level, with like, in the middle of them. And then as you progress, you get higher and higher. And then before you know it, close to the end, you're above all these balloons. And then there's like, it's nighttime and there's stars all around you. And that's the end of the stage once you complete it, a quick play, getting 30 lines. But that's an example of how they'll change. And like you can start off on underwater, and then you'll move up to where you'll be up like right above the water, and there's dolphins going around you. Different things like that. There's ones that are basic like that, and then there are ones that just have like, designs and things changing around you, different colors. It's crazy. There are so many stages that I can't even explain them all, but that's an example of how they change around you. And if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely pick it up. There's several modes. There's several, several modes. There's journey mode, which is not really story mode, but I guess it could be considered, arcade mode. You go through these stages like, 3 at a time, or 4 at a time, maybe 5 at a time. And afterwards, you get a grade based on how well you did, how fast you cleared all of the stages, how many lines. And as you go through those, you make your way through, all the way through. It's like a little, kind of like just the levels are grouped together, kind of like in a path, like a snaking path around. Once you go through that, you clear it out. And when you do so, you unlock theater mode, which is the ability to watch the stages without, playing Tetris, because you're focused on the game. You can't really take it all in, but when you do that, you can see it. And in VR, like once you play in VR and you have the ability to, you won't want to play it outside of that. Because in 2D, it's still Tetris and cool, but you can't really appreciate it unless you play it in VR. You'll have all of it around you, all these effects, the sound effects, and it's best to play with earbuds or headphones as well, because you have the music going in, you're playing, you can zone out. Speaking of zone, there's a zone mechanic where you can stop time, but you stop time and then you can continue making lines. And as you make lines, you continue to score points. Like the lines you make, they'll move down to the bottom and then go up, and then like you can just make so many lines, and then after the zone bar runs out, then it just goes back and you get how many ever lines you've made worth of points, more than Tetris, because Tetris is only 4. You can get up to I think 16, which I've never done that to. I've only got to like 10 so far, which is okay, I guess. I'm far from a Tetris master, but I dabble. And The other mode is just, I think it's called effect mode, where you play different types of Tetris. Like you can play marathon or just quick play, which is like the way you play in journey mode. Or you can play where you're trying to see how many all clears you can get, which is where you clear everything out the entire play area. How many combos you can get, which is like clearing line after line after line after line. You can get what else you can do? There's modes where you can have like target blocks that you have to use the blocks that they give you to clear those certain blocks and see how many of those you can get in a certain amount of time. You can see how many lines you can clear in 3 minutes. There are several variations. I mean, there's times where you can just play and chill, where you don't be rushed. There's times when you can focus on trying to like accomplish a certain thing. So many different types of Tetris that you guarantee to find something that you would like if you like Tetris. It's really cool, man. I'm definitely happy with it. It didn't let me down. Like I said, they found a way to add to Tetris. Again, it's been around for like 30, 35 years, 40 years. I don't know, 80s. It's been around all this time. They found a way to add to Tetris. Tetsuga Misaguchi, I hope I didn't mess up his name. He's responsible for Rez, Lumines. So he knows his rhythm games, and he took his rhythm expertise and added it to Tetris. And it's definitely a match made in heaven. It's super cool. And pretty much, and the Tetris Effect is the only main whole game that I've actually got to experience in Tetris. I've messed around with some demos, like I said. Astrobot stuck out. I played other demos as well, and they're cool. I want to play the whole thing of it. I would like to get my hands on Beat Saber. When I do, I'll definitely let y'all see about that, and possibly after I get a chance to mess around with it, put up some videos as well, so that I can at least let y'all see me flailing around like everybody else has been doing. But yeah, I guess that's it. I had to let you guys know how I felt about PSVR. I really wish I had gotten it before. It's great. I really would like to get myself one. I missed the opportunity with this past Black Friday. They had like some super awesome deals, but I just wasn't able to do it. But I'm going to try to. So I look forward to hopefully some more videos about it in the future. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you like it. If you don't like it anyway, because I said so. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, just go ahead. It'll take like 2 seconds. See, you could have done it just then. I have follow me on Twitter at NearsightedGamer, GAMR. I have a Facebook page, facebook.com/NearsightedGamer. It's kind of lonely there, but I promise I'll be putting up more. I'm getting back into making videos. I miss it. Sorry I've been gone so long. I know I do it a lot, but I'm definitely gonna try to get back in there. Like I said, thanks for watching. And as always, be excellent to each other. See you, peoples.